Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the next episode of Sack to the Future. It's week 2. It's time for the showcase game. The Minnesota Vikings, the highest-rated non-human controlled team in the NFL in 1963. Yes, a 5-8-1 team is the best we can do for the NFL side of things. They'll take on semi-pro team Houston Texans to begin their season against a second straight semi-pro team. However, in week 1, they did lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So take that as you will. It is Fran Tarkenton's third year. In the league, joining the Vikings in their inaugural season of 61. He was injured in Sack to the Future. And it'll be interesting to see how he does here in year number 2, especially since all his games, in one form or another, will be televised, whether they're here on the showcase against the other computer or one of our players are playing against them. So we're down here in Houston, Texas at the fictional semi-pro indoor stadium, looking at the Texans in their Battle Reds as they get ready to take on the Minnesota Vikings of the NFL Northern Division. Fred Mertz there trying to fire up the crowd. The Texans do appear fired up tonight. Look at Rip Hawkins and Jim Marshall. Fred Cox, I changed the spelling of his name to K-O-X. C-O-X. C-O-C-K-S. X. C-O-K-S. None of that's allowed, so K-O-X. C-A-H-X just was really weird. So K-O-X will be his name going forward unless we move to a better Madden and they get rid of this stupid PC bullshit of, it's offensive. Anyway, Cox kicks off to the semi-pro Texans. Can the Vikings beat a semi-pro team here in week 2? Jason Newsted of Metallica comes out, and he is hammered. Absolutely hammered by the Viking defender. And here's a look at the quarterback. It is Ron Miller. Ron Miller. Where did he come from? Yeah, obviously the uniform has been 1960-ish. 1965. Tommy Gunn comes in motion as Miller fakes the handoff. Miller throws down the field, and it's incomplete. Tommy Gunn tried to run before he had the ball, and Tommy the Machine Gun Morrison could not hold on to the ball. Bruce Banner, A.C. Slater, Screech Powers, Tony Hallman, Mike McCormick are your offensive line. Forrest Gump and Albert Einstein, the backs. Tony Stark, the tight end. Tommy Gunn and Mike Scroy, your wide receivers. For Scroy and Gunn, fraternity brothers of mine. That's not the Tommy Gunn from the Rocky movies. Although if that helps you visualize who he is, then do whatever you have to. Miller back to pass. He's going to take off running. He's got a hole. He makes a juke move when he gets the first down and then some. He's up to the 45 where he's going to be brought down after a gain of 18. And first down and 10 for the Vikings. Miller comes up under center. So he was a real football player. He must have played in 62. Let's see if we took 63 off or if we're going to have to change his name. The pass is incomplete. He might have also been a roster fill. That's at 62. So he'll get a name change and a downgrade in ratings. This is one of those deals where, the first week's the hardest, the second week's a little easier, but not much. And so on and so forth. Usually the Rams in 62. Miller back to pass. He swings it out to Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run! He's up for 50. So, where in the world is Terrors89? He's been on vacation now for a little while, and we've been promising you that we'd tell you, and I keep saying by the end of the game, and then the game ends and I haven't told you. Well, perhaps tonight will finally be the night. As we know, he is somewhere in an undisclosed location. Perhaps he's training to raid Area 51. Perhaps he's on the dark side of the moon. Perhaps he is up in Seattle playing with a Nirvana tribute band. You will find out at the end of the game. It is 3rd down and 5 now as Miller's in the shotgun. Miller fakes the handoff. He's back to pass. He's going to go deep. Deep downfield. It's caught by Tommy Gunn, and a shoestring tackle saves the touchdown as Gunn is down to the 15-yard line. 35-yard reception for the semi-pro team as the Vikings continue to struggle. 1st and 10 now. Miller hands it off to Albert Einstein. E equals MC squared as he picks up nothing. No gain for Einstein. Ah, you're a little Einstein, aren't you? Viking defensive line, Don Holtz, Jim Prestel, Paul Dixon, and Jim Marshall. Linebackers, Rip Hopkins, Roy Winston, Steve Stonebreaker. Chuck Lamson, Carl Kosolke, Ed Shirachman, and Lee Calland are your defensive secondary. Patrolling the backfield that led up the big pass to Tommy Gunn just 2 plays ago. It is 2nd down and 9 after the Einstein run. Forrest Gump takes the ball. And he's going to run and run and run until he can't run no more. He picks up about 5 yards, 4 yards. It's 3rd down and 5. Dave Foley splits out wide. Miller back to pass. He's going to take off running. He's got a wide open hole. He's going to get the 1st down. 1st and goal as he picks up 6 yards. Rip Hawkins on the tackle. But Miller. Now he was on an actual roster, so he is actually rated as a backup quarterback. He was a 3rd stringer in 62 on the Rams team. Did he play for the Rams or did he play in the AFL? He was drafted by the Rams. Yes, and he was 0 for 1. He did start a game, believe it or not, in real life. There's the handoff to Harry Ball. And he gets nothing. It'll be 2nd down and goal. 2nd down and goal on this opening drive that started from their own 28, maybe? I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying. Gump is buckled under. Because he's got this kind of tackle and that kind of tackle. And Rip Hawkins, Bubble Gump, Forrest Gump goes down. I don't know. That's bad. Delete that. We're going to delete that part in post-production. It is 3rd down and goal now from the 7 after the 2-yard loss. I formation for Houston. And a false start penalty on the Texans. It's going to back them up. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 12-yard line now. False start, offense. Still to come on this Sack the Future Week 2 here on the VinnyXWolf channel. 2 more games remain. Human versus human game tomorrow night. The Boston Patriots taking on my Baltimore Colts. And then some point Sunday or beyond, the New York Jets versus the San Diego Chargers in the AFL Showcase game. 3rd down and goal as Miller's back to pass. He steps up, he's going to dump it off. Oh, incomplete. Gunned again, tried to run without the ball. On the Phantom Fighter channel, he's got 2 games left. He's got the Patriots-Colts game that we already talked about. And then the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The John M channel has got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. That'll have to wait for Terrors89 to come out of hibernation. We line up for a field goal. It'll be 29 yards. Randy Travis puts the ball down. The kick is up and it's good. And Killian makes it 3-0 Houston. $3-0 Houston Texans. Rykel comes out of the end zone. He's up to the 25. He's going to get out to the 26-yard line, and proving that his return was worth it. Now the Terrors 89 channel, of course, has all their games remaining. We've already discussed. Here comes Fran Tarkenton coming out. He's got 179 yards and 1 touchdown in an opening day loss to the Jaguars. Terrors 89, we already discussed the Browns and Steelers game. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Washington Redskins. The Los Angeles Rams take on the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Oakland Raiders, they do battle against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tarkenton hands it off to Tommy Mason. Mason throwing a guy off. Gets a couple extra yards. He's going to pick up 5 yards in the carry. What a lower the boom for Tommy Mason. The Viking starters, Alderman, Bowie, Tinglehoff, Raybold, and Linden across the front line. Tommy Mason, Tommy Wilson, Paul Flatley, Ray Page, and Jerry Rykel, your backs and receivers. Tommy Mason, in his third year out of Tulane, just lowered the boom on that poor Houston defender, whoever that was. A lot of red on the field in Houston. Tarkenton hands it off to Mason again. This time Mason's not going to get away so easily as he goes down. Picks up 1 or 2 yards, however, before being tackled. The Houston defensive line, Hakeem Olajuwon, look at his size. Ivan Vanko and Firebreaker Chip, the former WCW tag team wrestler. Steve Rogers, Bob Feller, Tex Miner, and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan in his baseball number in the backfield. Derek Butler, Jason Newsted, William Baldwin, and Fred Mertz. Yes, Derek Butler wearing modern-day uniforms, so you know he'll get a uniform change and a name change for Week 3, or the next time the Houston Texans appear on Sacked with Future TV. Tarkenton back to pass on 3rd down and 3. He throws it over to Jerry Rykel, one of his go-to receivers, and Rykel picks up the first down and 11 yards. Before being stopped, it'll be 1st and 10 from the Minnesota 43. Tarkenton in the shotgun on 1st down. He's going to hand it off to Mason. Mason throws off one guy, but cannot get away from the second. He's now carried the ball 3 times. That was no gain in there for a total of 7. Steve Rogers comes up, and Captain America makes the tackle. Second down and 10 now. Mason on the give. This time he's got a nice hole. He's going to get all the way down to the 48 of Houston. That is a 9-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Minnesota comes out of the huddle. 3rd down and 1. Tarkenton back to pass. Incomplete pass as he was looking for Rykel once again. That was Tarkenton's 2nd pass attempt. This time it'll bring on Fred Cox to punt the ball away. Cox gets the punt away, so Minnesota trailing 3-0 has to punt. It's going to bounce at the 1, and it's going to go in through the end zone, and it'll be brought out to the 20. The rookie Fred Cox out of the University of Pitt. He was drafted by both the Cleveland Browns and the New York Titans, but in 1961 he has not played. He spent 2 seasons unemployed before signing with Minnesota in '63, where he'll be a mainstay for quite a while. 1st and 10 for Ron Miller. He hands it off to Forrest Gump. Gump runs by the first guy, but cannot get by Paul Dixon. And nope, that's Roy Winston. Sorry about that. Number 60, Roy Winston, who'll come over to Minnesota this year in his 2nd year out of LSU. Or not this year, he was drafted last year. 2nd year out of LSU. He come over because we had to trade back for him offseason. Gump run with a big hole. Forrest Gump goes through for the 1st down as he picks up 16 yards, and Houston continues the drive. Chuck Lampton on the tackle. We're going to have an incomplete pass, or the end of the 1st quarter, with the Houston Texans leading the Minnesota Vikings 3-0. Give you a little update on a couple other projects of mine. The Blast from the Past, the final divisional playoff game between the Chicago Bears, Chicago Staleys, and Chicago Cardinals will be coming to your way in a couple days. Ron Miller takes off for a huge run. He is going to slide after a pickup of 20 3 yards and a first down. I'm also prepping the alternate series, the 1922 game between the Chicago Bears and the Canton Bulldogs. So I'm actually doing 2 different Chicago teams at the same time right now. That's interesting. See how the ratings are different. Of course, jersey numbers might be different based on whether they're starters or not. Miller under center on 1st and 10. He was back to pass. He's going to throw it over the middle. Tommy Gunn's got the first down. Threw a strike, and Gunn held on this time and was able to pick up the first down, 12-yard gain. Tommy Gunn has 2 receptions for 46 yards with 2 huge drops. Rip Hopkins made the tackle. Miller. Gump picks up about 1 yard on the carry. I think the Giants-Cardinals game is a different start time. Yeah. Gump on the carry. Gump picks up the first down. Week 1, I was able to use this profile to do both the Vikings game and the Cardinals game. In both state, they both counted. And we know we do that in the playoffs. But, of course, I'm always going to be a little nervous about it. I will go back to the Cardinals immediately after this game is over, so I hate to lose that one. Miller back to pass. He's going to take off and run. Wide open field. Fumble! And the Vikings get the ball. Ron Koskolski picks it up in the air, and he gets back over to 15 to the 16 and a first down for Minnesota. Ron Miller was jacked up. The ball popped loose, and it never even hit the ground. They ain't even going to have to review this one, as number 21 Chuck Lamson hits the ball, hits Miller, and Koskolski takes off running. Miller thought he had a first down and then some, but Lamson's like, no way. Number 21, Chuck Lamson, in his 2nd year out of Iowa State, and Koskolski, the rookie out of Marquette. Big play. Saving the Vikings perhaps going down by multiple scores. 1st and 10 from the 16 as Tarkenton starts out in the shotgun. He takes the snap, gives it to Mason. Mason gets by the front line and picks up maybe 3 yards on the carry. 2 yards. I'm going to say 2nd down and 8. From the 19-yard line. Targeting hands to Mason. Mason got the first down and then some. Mason makes a little move. He's past the 30 up to the 34. He's carried the ball 6 times now for 33 yards, and it is a first down for the Vikings. WWE Ghostbuster action figures introduced to San Diego Comic-Con. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, John Cena, and who the hell is that other one? Shawn Michaels. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Interesting, but they're missing the actual having Kane or Undertaker's ghosts. Tommy Wilson gets the handoff, and he is going to be hit and brought backwards. He's got 2 carries now for 2 yards. 3rd down and 7. Michael Jordan in on the tackle. Michael Jordan is also with the Carolina Panthers, ring number 23. Sometimes I run out of names. Because he's born in 63, so that kind of helps. 3rd down and 7. Tarkenton sets up the screen. He's going to throw it to Tommy Mason. He's got some blockers. He cannot get by the first wave, though. And it'll be 4th down and 2. And the Vikings will have to send on their cops to punt it away. Fred Cox, that is. 4th down and 2 with 3:40 to go in the half. Fair catch called for. And Ron Miller, who fumbled on the last play, he's been running all over the Vikings. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12, right around where he fumbled. Miller's back to pass on 1st down. He's going to throw. It's complete to Morris. We have breaking news just in. As Miller takes the snap and hands it out to Forrest Gump. Gump gets the 1st down. Gump's got a long way to run, interrupting my breaking news. The breaking news is that Terrors89 is still on vacation, and we will be bringing you his location. It might be somewhere inside a volcano on the Hawaiian Islands. Coming up at some point during the game. Carl Kasulki with the tackle. It'll be a 1st down after Gump runs and Gump runs and Gump runs. He's just been running all day long. You know what? I think I had to change his jersey number. Didn't he wear 14 in that when he was playing for Alabama? There's the pitch out to Gump. Gump takes the ball. He is hit and dropped in the backfield. He's going to lose yards this time. It'll be a 1-yard loss. He's got 9 carries for 44 yards as Rip Hawkins makes his 4th tackle in the afternoon. Rip Hawkins has been all over the place. It'll be 2nd down and 11 after Forrest Gump can't get through the line on that play. The Houston Texans leading the Minnesota Vikings 3-0 here in the 2nd quarter from the Semi-Pro Stadium in Houston. Miller back to pass. Throws it over the middle, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Seeing some of the scores down on the bottom, you see the Green Bay Packers have taken a 21-0 lead on the Houston Oilers. The Houston Oilers won the Super Bowl in '62 and have come out completely flat, scoring 3 points and giving up, I want to say 79 in 2 games. Miller back to pass. 3rd down 11. He throws it out into the flat to Smith. The pass is complete, but it's going to be good. Or Tony Stark. I'm sorry. Tony Stark. It's going to be good for a loss of 2. It'll be 4th down and 12. A loss of 1, I should say. Jim Marshall. Looking as we've reached the 2-minute warning with the Houston Texans leading the Minnesota Vikings 3-0. Oh, somebody tagged me in a post in one of my Facebook groups that I'm not going to do, or that I run but I'm not going to acknowledge because I don't do requests. 4th down and 12 is Parker. Clive Parker, I want to say? Peter Parker. Peter Parker gets up on the way. Spider-Man puts it in the end zone for a touchback. Fran Tarkenton has not had a very good start of the 1963 season. He has struggled at times, definitely driving head coach Norm Van Brocklin nuts. Tarkenton back to pass. Steps up going deep. Out of bounds. I think he hit Van Brocklin in stride. But Van Brocklin's the head coach and doesn't play anymore. And Van Brocklin standing there on the sideline complaining about Tarkenton's misdirected pass as it fell incomplete on the sidelines. No offensive receiver near it. Tarkenton back to pass. He's going to step up and get away from a non-coming rusher. He sidesteps one man, gets a 12-yard pickup. It'll be a 1st down. That is Tarkenton's first official carry today. 1st and 10 at the 32 as the Vikings hurry up into position. He's back to pass now. He's gonna. This time he can't get away from the blitzing linebacker as Steve Rogers comes in and knocks him down with his shield. 2nd down and 14. It's like Steve Rogers punching Hitler in the face. But this time it's Tarkenton, not Hitler. There's a pass to Randy Page. Is it Randy? I don't know if it's Randy. 1st down and 10 down at Houston territory. And don't nobody get offending at my comment about Hitler. Obviously you haven't seen the movie Captain America. Tarkenton fakes the handoff. Oh, man, running right by him. He gets the pass out to Paul Flatley, and Flatley gets the 1st down to the 23-yard line. Tarkenton was under pressure, but he was able to get away from it and throw the ball complete to the rookie, Paul Flatley. Ray Page was the other rookie that caught the pass before that. We have a timeout here in Houston. 1st down and 10 at the 23-yard line. 58 seconds to go before the half. That was a 20-yard reception to Flatley. Tarkenton back to pass. He's scrambling out to his right. He throws toward the end zone. Almost intercepted. Tarkenton started the game 4 of 7, 66 yards, and that pass by Jason Newsted cannot be held on. It would have been a sweet riff had he caught it, but the Metallica bassist could not hold on. Hit him right in the hands. Sometimes that's why you play defense for a semi-pro team. The team that'll be the semi-pro the longest. Minnesota, 2nd down and 10 from the 23, 53 seconds to go. Tarkenton hands it off to Tommy Mason. Mason's hit as he picks up 1 yard and another timeout. That'll leave Minnesota with 1 to go. Up to the 22-yard line. It was 3rd down and 9. Tarkenton back to pass. He throws it in stride to Jerry Reichel. 1st down for Minnesota. 44 seconds to go. Minnesota's going to have to, or maybe they're not going to care about getting into a hurry up offensive mode. Okay. Just going to let the clock tick, I guess. That's fine. It's up to them. Down to 31 seconds. Tarkenton is 5 of 8 here to start the game. Tark back to pass, throws it over the middle, incomplete into a host of bodies. Just not a good move, not a good look, not a good anything. Second down and 10. Oops. Accidentally hit the circle button, my bad. 2nd down and 10 now for the Vikings with 21 seconds to go. Tarkenton back to pass. Steps up. Oh, he gets away from the sack, but not enough to actually get away as he stumbles forward and falls down. And Minnesota will have to burn their final timeout. So it is 3rd down 11 with 16 seconds to go from the 11-yard line. They can barely get a 1st down without scoring, but the clock would run out on them. Tarkenton throws it to Ray Page. Page is going to get hit and drop. There's 10 seconds. The Vikings got to hurry. No such hustle. They're going to line up for a field goal. This will be from 21 yards. The snap is down. The kick is up by Fred Cox, and it's good. We are tied at 3 as we reach the half. The Vikings are able to scramble the field goal team on, and Vander Kellen. Let me look at that name one more time. Ron Vander Kellen, the rookie out of Wisconsin, puts the hold down, and Fred Cox kicks it through. And we are tied at 3 as we have reached the half. Let's head back down to the field as Houston will kick off to the Vikings. It's going to be taken in the end zone by Butler. Butler brings it out. He passes 10 to the 20. Butler gets to the first guy and drags him forward for a couple more. He's out to the 24-yard line, and that's where Fran Tarkenton will take over. Tie game here in the second half. 7:57 to go. First down and 10. Minnesota has 48 yards rushing. Here's a handoff to Tommy Mason. Mason gets hit, brought back, pushed back, and then pushes back forward. Gains 2 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 8. 2nd down and 8 from the 26-yard line. The Vikings have reached 50 yards rushing. Michael Jordan in on the tackle. Tarkenton throws it out over the head of the intended receiver, and that brings on a 3rd down and 8 now. Third down and 8 with 7:25 to go in the 3rd. And the Vikings continue to drive, or will Cox come on to punt? Tarkenton steps up. He throws it toward the flat to Ray Page, but Page cannot square up and turn upfield. Tarkenton waited way too long to throw the ball. It'll be a pickup of 2 yards, but it's 4th and 6 now, and Cox will have to come on. Cox will have to send the ball away and try and penetrate the Houston secondary. Red zone. Get a coffin corner punt. Cox shoots his load. It's down the field. He's going to be taken for a fair catch at the 25. So not good. Cousins and Williams in a skirmish. Neither one can decide whether they want to skirmish or dance. It is 1st and 10 for Houston at the 25-yard line. Miller fakes the handoff. He's back. He's going to roll to his right. He's going to step up. He's going to take off. He sidesteps 2 Vikings. It's got a first down. Sidesteps 2 more Vikings. Fumble! The Vikings recover. It's picked up by Rip Hawkins. Miller was dancing and sidestepping everybody. He actually broke free and would have scored, but he left the ball on the turf. Let's see if we can take a look at this. There he moves by 2 Vikings. There he gets away. And as he's trying to stay in bounds, he drops the ball and Rip Hawkins picks it up. Here's another look at it. He tries to get by, this is where he gets by 2 guys. Here he's trying to get by another. Number 29 has gloves on. 29 will lose the gloves after the game. Drops the ball, it stays in bounds. And that is the 2nd fumble for Miller and keeping the Vikings in the ball game. 1st and 10 for Tarkenton from the 40-yard line. Tarkenton hands it off to Tommy Mason. Mason gets forward for a yard. It'll be a 2nd down and 9. Vikings are trailing on the stats, but they're tied on the field. Actually, they have more passing yards. Tarkenton gives it to Mason again. Mason through. He gets by 1 guy and picks up 6 yards on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Firebreaker chip on the tackle. Tarkenton fakes the handoff. He's looking to pass. He throws it out to the flat. It's caught by Mason for the 1st down. No, they're going to say incomplete. They are going to say he did not come down with his feet in bounds, and that'll bring up a 4th down. So this time Miller will escape the fumble. It will not cost the Texans anything. And we move on to a punt from their own 46. Cox once again's got to try and erect this punt down inside the 20. It's a blow snap. It's almost blocked. He does get it away. High punt going toward the sideline. It's going to bounce at the 6, and it's the sweet spot. Fred Cox, he had almost fumbled the snap. He took his time, got the punt away before it could be blocked, and gets it down to the 6-yard line. A beautiful, perfect coffin corner punt for Fred Cox. He put the little pill down where it belonged. Forrest Gump, 9 carries, 44 yards on the day. The game is tied at 3, however. It is 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line. Miller's under center. He hands it off to Gump. Gump gets by 1. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be a 2nd down and 10 right there. Yeah, Gump needs a jersey change too, so I need to take gloves away from number 29 on the Minnesota Vikings, and Gump needs a jersey number change. 2nd down and 10 from the 6. Miller back to pass. He's rolling, he's scrambling, he's trying to get out of the end zone. He's got some room, and he gets up to the 13-yard line, but a 7-yard gain will not be good enough. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Third down and 3 for the Texans from the 13-yard line. It is complete to Mike Scroy for a 1st down. Forrest Gump wore 44. Perfect. I will make that change after the game. Next time you see the Houston Texans, he will be in the right number. And I also have a look at his uniform too, so we match that up. I really got to change the double bar from single bar. Miller hands it off to Gump. Gump can't get by anybody. No gain. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Actually, they call it a loss of 1. As Don Holtz makes the tackle. Yeah, Gump's whole helmet's wrong. Holy crap. How did that happen? Gump's whole helmet. He's got a modern helmet. Well, not modern, but an 80s helmet on. Everything else is, I might take the Nikes off and put in broken toes. I'm trying to get rid of the Nikes until we get to the 70s as best I can. It's a constant work. Miller, back to pass. He's going to roll. He's going to take off. He's going to run. He's already fumbled twice, but he runs again. He's got the first down. Battling Jim Marshall. Dragging Jim Marshall for another 5 yards. Where did this guy come from? He's got 7 carries, 116 yards. Phantom, if you're watching this game on replay, I think whatever this guy's name ends up being, Ron Miller, his running definitely needs to be addressed, because that he just ran over Jim Marshall. And I know sometimes we complain, oh yeah, this guy can do that, but seriously, semi-pro guy running over Jim Marshall, that needs to be addressed. It's got the Houston faithful, however, fired up as they got a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Miller hands off to Gump. Gump can't get by the first guy. Jim Presto there to make the tackle. Morris, 92. There's no 92 on the... Oh, for crying out loud. 82? Well, it's Stonebreaker. Well, that's 3 things I gotta do. Miller back to pass. Throws it complete to Dave Foley. Foley's gonna pick up 7 yards. I went through the Vikings roster and made sure I cut all the roster fillers guys they signed, because they're a showcase team. They don't need them, right? I'm wrong. I missed one. Must be because they signed a guy with a capitalized name. That's how I missed it. Oh well. You live and you learn. Absolutely nothing I can do about it now. Oh, Miller is going to get hit and sacked. Roy Winston. I guess I could pause the game and go on and make sure that he's not on the depth chart and all, but I'm not going to worry about that. Roy Winston, nice. Comes off the corner as Miller was faking handoff. Gets the sack. Just ahead of Chuck Lamson, who was also coming in. And the Texans will punt. Peter Parker gets the ball away. It's going to bounce at the 2, 3, go into the end zone. Touchback. So Parker couldn't stick it the way Cox did. And you figured Parker would be able to punt it on a rope. Or a web. It's 1st and 10 now. Parker hands off to Mason. Big hole. Mason's got a 1st down. Mason would pick up 12 yards. He's now got 11 carries for 54 yards. As the Vikings have been surviving in this game. Targeted. Hands it off to Mason. Mason ahead for another 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Hey, Boston won. They beat Toronto 5-4. Yay! Go Red Sox. Second down and 8 is Tarkenton. Scrolls, rambles, side swipes, whatever you want to call it. Swipe left, swipe right. He swipes right. He picks up a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Erskine on the tackle. Tarkenton fakes the handoff. Oh, nice blitz pickup there. Tarkenton throws. It's caught to Paul Flatley. Nope, incomplete. 4th down and 9. Michael Jordan on the coverage. You can't beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. You can hope to get a few buckets in here and there, but you cannot beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. Especially when it's 2-on-1. Like that is. 4th down and 9, and this battle of the punchers continues as Cox will get ready to send her away. Nails a high, deep punt. Gonna go to the 15 and a fair catch called for. Of course, late hit penalty does not exist in Madden 19, as Shane Williams is tackled. But immediately, the moment he calls for the fair catch. 1st down and 10. for the Texans. 11 seconds to go in the third. Forrest Gump sweeping out to his left. Forrest Gump's by the first wave. He's going to pick up a first down, 11 yards. He's got 13 carries for 56 yards. $173 rushing yards for the Vikings. Over 100 by Ron Miller himself. We reached the end of the third quarter, folks. It is a tie ball game, 3-3. As we switch sides of the field, Houston now going back down the field where Miller had his first fumble. Miller back. He's going to take off running. And he slides. He sees the Viking linebacker coming up, Roy Winston, and he gets down and slides after pickup of 2. Second down and 8. You start to wonder if you're a Viking fan when this offense is going to kick in. Gump on the handoff. He gets by the first guy, gets 2 yards. Minnesota, like we said before, in 63 went 5-8-1. In week 1, they would beat the 49ers 24-20, but then in week 2, losing to the Chicago Bears 28-7. The wins would be few and far between, as they swept the 49ers. They got a victory over the Rams, the Lions, and the Eagles. Miller throws it to Martinez. It'll be a 4th down and 2 after the tackle from Rip Hawkins. Edgar Martinez catches his first pass of the game for a 4-yard gain. Peter Parker on to punt the football. Peter Parker to punt past the defense. I'm trying to come up with a tongue twister and it's not working. Ball bounces at the 5, down to the 1. Oh, and it hits the goal line. Parker could not keep it out of the end zone, and the Vikings come on with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go. The Vikings are on the 20-yard line after touchback. Parker changing the play. He's going to give the ball to Mason. Mason gets by the first man. Mason up to the 26. He's got 62 now. 158 total yards for the Vikings, 3 points. The Texans have 177 rush yards, 3 points. Tarkenton back to pass, fakes the handoff. The blitzing defensive lineman gets through. Firebreaker chip puts the fire of Tarkenton out. Seldom known tag team wrestler from the early 90s in WCW. I see he's got black tape. That's not something that was really around, so that's 4 things I now need to do. Take gloves off Minnesota's 29, cut number 92, change Forrest Gump's jersey and uniform, and firebreaker chips and wrist tape. Turkington takes the handoff, throws it deep down over the field, almost intercepted! Almost intercepted by a diving defensive player. Did not get his number. It'll be 4th down 11. And once again, you guessed it, it's another punt. Hey, wasn't the Vikings once in a bonus game? No, it was the Lions and Cardinals once in a bonus game on the Phantom Fighter channel where they had a lot of punts. This game is trying to rival it. Cox gets the ball off. It's a high, deep punt. Gonna send the returner back to the 27-yard line. Shane Williams tries to make the first man miss, and he gets bowled over. So he picks up maybe 2 yards on the return, and that is where Houston will take over as we're going to look at the field here for a few seconds. A little bit of a glitch. Let's see if I can skip it. Yes, we are on to the next drive. 1st and 10. Tony Stark on the reception, and he's going to get hit. And it'll be 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard gain. So has anybody seen this Face app, this aging app that's going around on Facebook? Earlier today, well, yesterday I discovered it, so of course I had to download it and try it out, and I actually kind of think I look like my father had he not gotten cancer and died. So earlier today, news breaks that this company that developed this app, in their terms of agreement, they actually get you to agree that they can access your photos. Oh my God, a photo app being allowed to access your photos. Shocking. Anyway, a lot of Facebook apps that involve photos, like ones with filters and stuff, That's all a standard issue in there. But the problem isn't necessarily that. The problem is that this company that they're all based out is in Russia. This Harry Ball takes the ball for the first down. A Russian company can access your photos. Gad, folks, they might influence you on who to vote for next year. Let me say something right now. No Russian company, Russian spy, Russian dressing, rushing to get to work when I'm late is going to influence who I vote for. They can access my photos. I really don't give a fuck. I agreed to sign up for the app. If I decide I want to terminate it, guess what? I can terminate the app and I can undownload it. Because the pass falls incomplete, going downfield and diving, Tommy Gunn is unable to hold on to the second down attack. We panic in this country over the dumbest things. We panic over tweets. We panic over user agreements. We panic over a company in Russia that came up with a tweet. Or an app. Folks, grow up. Get out of your parents' basement and start thinking for yourself. There's 2nd and 10 now as Miller fakes the handoff to Forrest Gump. He's looking to pass. He's under pressure. He's going to throw. It's caught by Tony Stark for the first down. 1st and 10 and Kosolki. Kosolki's got the gloves on. Okay, now I know who to fix. Carl Kosolki pushes the receiver out of Tony Stark out of the field of play, and the Texans have a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Miller hands it off to Gump. Gump sweeps around left end. He's got a wide open field. Nobody's there. Run, Forrest, run! Down the 15-yard line where he's finally tackled by Chuck Lamson. 1st and 10 for the Houston Texans. Minnesota looking to get swept by the AFC South semi-pro teams. Chuck Lamson on the tackle. Did I offend you when I said fuck? Well, that's too fucking bad. Miller back to Pat. No, he hands off to Forrest Gump. I'm serious though. I'm tired of people complaining and bitching and complaining. You can't have fun anymore. Several celebrities have jumped on this, but other things just... one professional wrestler whose name shall remain nameless. Because I wouldn't want to, you know, drift away off to dreamland if I was thinking about him. Said he doesn't want to do it because he's earned every gray hair he has. Well, way to be a buzzkill, buddy. People are just trying to have fun, for God's sakes. With everything going on, we're trying to storm Area 51. We're trying to make ourselves look 80. We just want to have fun. Pass is complete to Tommy Gunn down to the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Houston Texans. The game tied at 3. 2:27 to go in the game. Terry Frankhauser makes the tackle. Miller is up under center. He hands it off. Albert Einstein. And Einstein, E equals MC touchdown. 6 points for Einstein. The smartest man on the field is able to just drag and drive and pummel and solve equations while he's going into the end zone. And the Houston Texans have taken a 9-3 lead on the Minnesota Vikings. This is an embarrassing start for the Vikings season. Randy Travis with the hold. The kick is good. And the Houston Texans now lead 10-3. And look at the swagger out of the kicker. Yeah, that's right. I got a point. Yeah. I kicked a point. I did my job. I did what I got paid for. Let me spike the ball now. Kicks the ball off. He's going to be taken on the 4. Butler from the 3. Bill Butler comes up. He is going to, make the first guy miss, but cannot get away from the second one. He used up all his concentration to get away from number 55, and the next guy ran him over. So, the Vikings, 2:13 to go. Can you hear me? I dropped my controller, and I'm still plugged in. Yes, I am. Okay. Targeting and throws. Ray Page did not come down with the ball. 2:09 to go in the game. The Vikings trail 10-3 in what has become just an... Oh, I did hit something. Okay. Just an embarrassing effort. Targeting back to pass. He gets sacked by Tex Minor. Another one of my fraternity brothers where it brings him down, and that's why Gump isn't wearing 44. Minor's wearing 44. And Gump's Miner's going to get to keep his number 2. So I guess Gump will stay in 32, but I will fix his uniform. I'm sorry, I'm more loyal to my former college roommate and fraternity brother than I am to a fictional TV character who... Run, Forrest, run! 3rd down and 14 now for the Vikings. 2 minutes to go. We've reached a 2-minute warning and the Vikings are trailing. They're about to lose their 2nd straight game to a semi-pro team. Tarkenton. Hands off to Mason, because what you want to do on 3rd and 14, run the draw play. Now they're going to run into hurry-up mode because the AI just knows what exactly they're doing in computer football games. Tarkenton back to pass. There's a flag down, so this one's coming back. It's too bad because it is a completion to Jerry Reichout for the 1st down. But hold the phone. Holding is called on Earl Linden. It's now 4th and 24. All the Texans got to do is stop him. Tarkenton back to pass. He throws. It is intercept. No, incomplete. Well, it's better to be incomplete because now the Texans take over 1st and 10 on their own 14-yard line. Vikings will probably use their timeouts, but the Texans are deep in field goal territory from the 14. Miller, oh, back to pass. Throws it to Scroy. Touchdown, Houston Texans. Mike Scroy. S-G-R-O-I. Mike Scroy gets the touchdown and puts the game on ice. The extra point is good, and Houston leads Minnesota 17-3 as Killian makes the extra point. So, since they're in the jersey red there, is that Killian's red? I'm just saying. Riddale, get it? Huh? Butler from the end zone. Minnesota's got to score twice now. And a flag. It's going to be face mask. That'll help them out. Minnesota's got to score twice, plus get an onside kick. So face mask call on Joel Osteen. Oh, no wonder. Living up in his mansion, thought he could do whatever he wanted. Huh. You need your money. Again, as always, everything here on the VinnyXWolf channel is that of opinions of myself and me alone. Pass complete to Rice. Number 84 of the Vikings gets deep over the middle and gets the completion. They don't have a Rice. God damn it. Roster failed. Tarkenton throws it out to Tommy Mason. They're going to call it complete and he gets out of bounds, stops the clock. So that's now 5 things they got to do. Carl Kosoki's close. 92 cut. 84 cut. Houston, Forrest Gump's helmet. Can't do anything about his jersey number now. And somebody's black armband, arm tape. Somebody what? Probably. Oh, I remember when I see him. Always looking to improve, always looking to make things better. Stacks the future. We're opinionated, but we're trying to keep it historically accurate. 2nd down and 6. Tarkenton back to pass. He rolls out to his left. He takes off running. He's got the 1st down. He's going to slide. Slides down to 22. The clock is running. Instead of getting out of bounds like any normal, intelligent, real-life person would do, the computer-animated AI slides in bounds. Tarkenton back to pass. He throws over the middle. He's complete to Boylan. Jim Boylan, the rookie out of Washington State. 48 seconds to go, and the Vikings have got to scramble to get back up the line of scrimmage as Boylan's tackled in bounds. Tarkenton back to pass. 40 seconds to go. He's rolling to his right. Rolling, looking. He's going to finally take off running, and he's going to slide in bounds again. And now there's an injury timeout. It's going to come from the Vikings. It'll stop the clock at 34 seconds. Steve Rogers credited with the tackle. Oh, and Tarkenton's going to dance. You slid in bounds twice. The only reason the clock stopped this time is one of your teammates got hurt. This modern day dancing every time you do something that you're supposed to. Stop it! At the nuclear power plant, when I don't blow the world up, I don't get up and do a jig and dance. I do my job and I go home. 1st and goal from the 7. I really just don't care about viewers anymore, apparently. Tarkenton Throws into the end zone. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Baldwin. William Baldwin with the interception. He brings it up to the 12. And that is where the game will most likely end. 17-3. Tarkenton rolling to his right. Throwing across his body. William Baldwin picks it off. He gets up, high points the ball, as they say nowadays on television land, and he gets the interception. Ron Miller, 12 of 17, 117 yards and a touchdown, plus all the rushes he did. His 2 fumbles did not destroy the Texans' chances at going 1-1. Miller hands it off to Gump. Gump ahead for 5. Minnesota's going to use their timeouts. You can't take them with you. You might as well use them, right? Even though you literally got no shot of winning now. You got to pop the ball loose from here. They will kneel it down. And Minnesota will use their last timeout, but that's so good because on 3rd down and 6, Houston will kneel it and it'll be over. 3rd down and 6. Miller takes the knee. He's had 10 rushes today for 116 yards. And ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Vikings will start out 0-2, losing their first 2 games to semi-pro teams, the Jacksonville Jaguars and now the Houston Texans. And why is Houston even lining up for a punt? This is not going to happen. The final score from Houston, the semi-pro Houston Texans 17 and the Minnesota Vikings 3, and Norm Van Brocklin is not a happy camper. Now again, a couple guys will get their names changed. They'll be downrated. Next time you see them, it'll be different. We'll fix those uniform situations. I promised that we were going to tell you where Terrors 89 is, so if you haven't figured it out by now, we're not really going to tell you where Terrors 89 is. But thanks for watching and sticking tuned. Maybe you know what? Why don't you comment? Where do you think Terrors 89 is? You think he's playing secondary for a semi-pro team in Northern California? Do you think he's hunting Eskimos up in the Alaskan wilderness? Maybe he's writing the next great American novel. Maybe he's swimming with sharks off the coast of Jafar. Or North Carolina. Maybe he's in his hometown, basking in the glow of knowing that nobody knows where it is. Not even us. Until next time, I'm Vinny Vincent. Thanks for joining us on the showcase. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night to see the Boston Patriots and the Baltimore Colts. I'm Vinny Vincent, and as always I say, or from here on out starting, as always, God bless America.